What you're about to hear, guys, could change everything that you thought you knew about Social Security and taxes, IRS in America. Today is Saturday, May 10th, 2025, and it's official. President Trump's new External Revenue Service is now live, and it's already flipping the entire Social Security system upside down. In fact, what actually just got announced is so freaking big. It's just so unexpected. It's so disruptive. Even longtime Washington insiders, they're scrambling, just trying to figure out what the heck is actually coming next. I mean, we're talking about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. President Trump has gone scorched earth. Can I get an idea of where you guys stand on President Trump's stance on this? Drop a quick 47 in the comments down below if you support President Trump and his efforts to eliminate Social Security taxes, to eliminate income taxes, and to eliminate the IRS. Drop a 47 if you support Trump on that, guys. And if you're just now joining live, please take a second, hit the like button for the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, we're talking about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, zero federal income tax for anybody who's making less than $200,000 a year. Of course, with the funding coming not from your wallet, but from something that's actually called the ERS system. This is a brand new economic playbook, guys. But wait, this isn't just some tax story. In fact, this summer, the Social Security Administration goes full digital with these new mobile Social Security cards, basically a massive fraud crackdown and a 100% clawback policy. It is absolutely crazy what is going on here. So I just want to keep you guys in the loop on what's going on because there's so many changes that are actually taking place here. Now, if that wasn't enough, of course, there's California Governor Gavin Newsome now accusing President Trump and Elon Musk of stealing DOGE. Yes, the Department of Government Efficiency from him, while at the same time launching yet another lawsuit against President Trump over these program cuts. Oh, and y'all remember New York Attorney General Letitia James, right? Well, I got an update for you guys on Letitia James. She is the Attorney General who made it her mission to destroy President Donald Trump. You guys remember that? Well, she's now the one that's facing all sorts of fraud allegations. And let's just say that the temperature on the furnace just got turned up a notch. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But this isn't just a policy. This is total reversal of power. And it's happening now. It's happening right now. Now, if you guys think that Letitia James should be serving prison time, you let me know in the comments down below. So go ahead and strap in, guys. There's a few things we need to talk about over the next few minutes. I want to talk to you guys about how Trump's ERS system is replacing the IRS. I want to talk to you guys about why this Social Security card might soon live on your phone and who's going to benefit big time, because there's going to be some big winners on this one here. OK, we also need to talk about who's going to lose everything. All right. So there's some good news. There's some bad news. Let me know in the comments down below if you want the good news or the bad news first. But make sure you watch until the end of this video because we're about to reveal some big news about the Social Security trust fund crisis. And it's going to show you exactly why this is all going to happen and why it has to happen. All right. So let's start off with the game changer. You got Trump's External Revenue Service, right? It's no longer just a concept. It's now fully active. And this isn't just another federal agency. Guys, this is a full-blown replacement for the bloated, inefficient IRS that Americans have complained about for decades. Trump's calling it ERS, the External Revenue Service, and it's a radical new way of funding government that actually doesn't rely on taxing your paycheck. Now, anybody who's working, I'm pretty sure, is a fan of that, right? Instead, what it does is that it actually flips the traditional model on its head by shifting the burden to external services, hence the name, right? So basically, here's how it works. So instead of squeezing the American worker, the ERS generates new revenue through massive tariffs. especially the 145% tariff that's slapped on Chinese imports. Fraud recoveries as exposed by Elon Musk's DOGE team, and deep spending cuts to bloated federal programs. And here's the kicker. These new revenue streams are actually used to fund Social Security without dipping into your pocket. Amen to that, right? That's right, guys. According to President Trump's 100-day cabinet meeting, the entire restructure allows him to not only slash taxes, but to protect Social Security without rising payroll taxes or increasing debt. It's a total paradigm shift. Tax policy finally meets America First economics. And just in case you're wondering if it's actually working, well, let's talk about the results. So President Trump, he says it's already delivering billions of dollars in new revenue before Congress has even passed the full tax plan. But that leads us right into the next bombshell. President Trump's tax cut plan is rolling out this summer, and it's completely unlike anything we've seen before. Now, stick with me, guys, because what he's talking about, what he's planning to do with tax, tips, overtime, even your Social Security checks, could leave millions of Americans with thousands more dollars in their pockets legally, automatically, or some people say automagically, and permanently. Now, you've worked your whole life. You deserve a Medicare plan that works for you, not one that drains your wallet. That's exactly why Chapter exists. They're not tied to a few plans. They review every option to help you save money, to help you keep your doctors, and to maximize your benefits. Now, Julie in Kansas, she saved $400 a year. Jamie in Texas, she's getting $600 back into her Social Security check. And guys, the average senior is actually saving $1,100 a year. And you know what's even better? What they're doing is totally free. You can literally call them up right now and say, hey, Ron said to call you to ask you if you can save me some money on my Medicare. These are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I mean, finally, somebody on our side. Chapter was founded by people who refused to let their own parents get ripped off, and now they're helping families everywhere. So I want you to know this is a no cost, no pressure service, just real help. So give them a call right now. The phone number is 909-563-8279. Or it's probably even easier to just hit the link in the description down below. You can go to askchapter.org/Ron. Shoot him a quick message. Tell him Ron said hello and see how much money you can save. And let's keep the conversation going. Drop a quick comment back on this video here when you've finished talking to them and tell me how much you were able to save. I'd love to hear from you guys. But let's go ahead and talk about what's coming this summer and why this is actually the potential to transform the lives of probably 90% of working Americans. Well, President Trump's tax cut plan, it's been described as this one big, beautiful, smiley, cheerful bill. And it's more than just political talk. This is actually a full-on restructuring of the tax code for the middle class, the working class. And ladies and gentlemen, if this gets passed, it could be the largest tax cut in American history. So what's in this thing, right? Well, let Trump tell it. This new tax plan, it includes no federal income tax on tips. There's no federal income tax on Social Security benefits. There's no federal income tax on overtime. And for individuals who are earning under $200,000 a year, there will be zero federal income tax. Comment down below if you're earning less than $200,000 a year. And think about it. You would almost pay no tax if you lived in a state that didn't have any state income tax like Florida. Anybody watching here from Florida? Think about the benefits of living in a state that would have no income tax on your income and having zero federal income tax. Like you'd literally almost keep like your whole check. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? Like in a good way? That's right, guys. Zero, gone, done. Right now, this isn't just reform. This is a declaration of war on the IRS's old way of operating. And with the ERS now generating new revenue, Trump is actually saying that this can cut like all sorts of expenses for Americans. And he's actually saying that this can all be done without adding to the deficit and without cutting Social Security. So basically, liberal media is losing their mind because they're like, their whole argument saying, oh, Trump's plan is just going to blow up the national deficit. Well, that kind of goes down in flames for them. But here's what makes it even more explosive. While Democrats are campaigning on raising taxes, Trump is drawing a clear line in the sand, positioning himself as the champion of the working class, backed by actual funding strategies, not promises pulled from thin air. He's actually told tens of thousands of Americans in his 100-day rally over in Michigan. Did you guys happen to catch that 100-day rally in Michigan? Anyway, he told them, hey, we're fighting for the people who actually work, the ones who make this country run. And under my plan, they will finally keep what they earn. But this plan isn't just about tax relief. This is also the foundation of what's coming next. A complete realignment of how government programs like Social Security are funded and ultimately delivered. But here's a twist. As taxpayers and as taxes disappear for the working class, the system itself has to evolve. And so that's where DOGE steps in, right? So keep watching, guys, because what Elon Musk and President Trump's DOGE team just uncovered could permanently change how Social Security is being funded and even protected, or even shut down massive programs we never thought were optional. Well, here's where things get rather interesting. The funding behind Trump's tax cuts and Social Security protections isn't coming from magic. It's actually coming from something called DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, which is led by none other than Elon Musk. And what they've done in just a few months, well, it's being called the biggest government cleanup in U.S. history. So far, the DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has uncovered and estimated and eliminated over $160 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse. Now, guys, that's not a typo. We're talking useless foreign aid packages gone. We're talking NIH grants shelved for ineffective research, redundant federal offices, and billions handed out without even verification or oversight. And so here's the most powerful part. These savings aren't being pocketed by bureaucrats. They're actually getting rerouted directly to American programs like Social Security, veteran care, and even the new External Revenue Service model. So get this, guys. DOGE is literally rewriting the rules of how government operates. And it's not without backlash, of course. Mainstream media, the left-leaning governors, they're already panicking, claiming DOGE is cutting too fast, defunding life-saving research, and they're damaging diplomacy. What do y'all think about that? Is DOGE going too fast, or is DOGE not going fast enough? Just if you think DOGE is going too fast, just say too fast. But if you think DOGE isn't going fast enough, say too slow. Anyway, even as ABC tried to trap Trump during his primetime interview saying DOGE was hurting the country, you know what Trump's response was? It's pure fire. We've saved hundreds of billions of dollars and we're not done. I've seen things that shocked me. Programs nobody voted for, checks going to people who don't even live here. And now they're mad that we might shut that down? Well, sorry. We're putting America first again. But this is only the tip of the iceberg, because DOGE isn't just saving money. It's about to revolutionize the way that Social Security is delivered starting this summer. So, of course, we need to talk about the digital transformation of Social Security, how your card is going mobile, and really what this means for your benefits, and why some are saying that the real beginning of the post-IRS era is actually coming. So, I don't know if you heard, something big's coming this summer. Social Security goes full digital, and this might be the most underestimated but massive transformation of all of them. Now, for the first time in American history, the Social Security Administration, also known as the SSA, they're rolling out digital Social Security cards through the My SSA online portal. So that means no more waiting weeks for a replacement card, no more digging through your file cabinet, no more calling SSA to get your number. when you need it for job applications or for bank accounts. No more of any of that nonsense, right? Instead, you're going to be able to securely access your social security number right from your phone, from your smartphone, from your computer with full encryption and ID verification. And of course, while it's being presented as a convenience feature, let's be honest, guys, this is the beginning of a full system upgrade. SSA officials are saying that the move is designed to cut down on identity theft, to reduce fraud, and to eliminate unnecessary physical visits and paperwork. Well, what happens if you don't have a smartphone? Or what happens if you only have a certain type of smartphone? What kind of phone do you guys have? Do you have an Android? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have a flip phone? Do you even have a smartphone? Let me know what model phone you have down below, guys. Because here's a thought that should really make you sit up and think. This move aligns perfectly with the new ERS system and DOGE operations. It's leaner, it's faster, it's smarter, and it's aimed to eliminate overhead. But not everybody's excited about this. In fact, critics are saying that this could be the first step toward removing physical cards entirely, leading to fears about digital IDs, surveillance, and a government that knows every move you make. Is anyone a little bit concerned about this? If you're concerned about the government overreach and excessive government surveillance, just drop a quick yes in the comments down below. And while SSA has reassured the public that physical cards will still be available, some people are asking, hey, how long? Right? Because once the digital system becomes the default and the infrastructure is in place, well, how hard would it really be to phase out the old paper system altogether? What if people aren't ready for that? What if people don't feel comfortable with this new technology? And so this is why this summer's rollout is such a big deal. And it's not just about convenience. It's actually about control. And depending upon how this plays out, it could completely reshape how your identity, how your retirement benefits, and even your taxes are handled in the future. And speaking of reshaping, wait until you hear what Trump just approved behind the scenes at the SSA. Now, of course, I'm going to definitely expose the little known rule change that allows the SSA to now withhold 100% of somebody's benefit, even if they were accidentally overpaid and it wasn't their fault. Yes, unfortunately, 100%. And now we get to the part that they really don't want you to hear about, and they for sure don't want us talking about it. And you might want to, if you haven't already, you might want to hit watch later on this video, like save this video to watch later, or maybe even bookmark this video if you can't watch the entire video right now. Even share this with a friend, because I might have to make this video unlisted because I don't think that they want this information out. Right alongside the whole digital card rollout and new funding structure, the Social Security Administration itself has just undergone one of the most aggressive overhauls in decades, and the consequences are already being felt. Let's go and start with this bombshell, right? In March 2025, the SSA quietly raised the overpayment clawback rate to 100%. Guys, let me repeat that for you. If Social Security says you were accidentally overpaid, even if it was their fault, even if it was their bad, even if it was their error, they now have the authority to withhold your entire monthly check until it's repaid. No warning, no phased recovery, just a full stop. And this reverses a Biden-era policy that had capped the withholdings at 10% to protect vulnerable recipients. Now, Trump's team, led by the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is saying this move will save the agency an estimated $700 million a year and is a part of a broader crackdown on waste. So this is actually done in good intention to help Social Security and the recipients and beneficiaries of Social Security. But for millions of seniors living on fixed incomes, this could mean the difference between food on the table and, unfortunately, going without. And that's not the only internal shift. They're talking about SSA workforce reduction. In fact, they're not just talking about it, they're doing it. The SSA has slashed its staffing target from 57,000 to 50,000 employees, already processed 350 deferred resignations and 3,000 plus voluntary separations. The goal? Leaner, faster, AI-assisted systems to reduce human error and operational costs. A lot of these people weren't even coming into the office for work. They've also deployed automated phone verification and fraud detection systems, which lets users confirm identities without even having to go visit an office, but only if some irregularities are flagged. Now, if you get flagged, that's a whole different story. And while this looks pretty efficient on paper, critics are warning that it's pushing older people, low-tech Americans out of the system. So if you're not really familiar with computers, or if you're not digitally savvy, you don't know how to navigate my SSA, you might risk falling through the cracks, unfortunately. Now, this is why I really like the people over at Chapter, because they're very patient. They help people like you wouldn't believe. So, of course, if you're looking to save any kind of money, who's not looking to save money, right? If you're over 65 and you're saying, hey, I get my Social Security check and so much of my check gets taken away from me before I can even spend it because of how much Medicare costs. If you're thinking that, don't wait. I left the link for you guys down below. Just reach out to them right now. Click the link. Say, hey, Medicare is taking so much money out of my Social Security check. Ron says you can probably help me out. Can you save me any kind of money? That's all you got to do. Hit the link. See how much Chapter can help you out in terms of saving. And the cool thing is they're not going to charge you to do it. It's totally free. Just say, hey, can you help me out? Ron told me to call you. Anyway. So this is why President Trump's overhaul is being called both revolutionary and ruthless, because depending upon who you ask, but here's what's undeniable. This isn't business as usual anymore. The IRS model is dying, and in its place is a government that's being run like a business, and not everybody's ready for that. So how did all this become a political war zone? Well, I'm about to dive into the explosive feud between President Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsome, who, by the way, just accused Trump and Elon Musk of stealing DOGE from California. Yes, that literally actually happened. And so now let's go ahead and talk about the most bizarre political moment of the year. Actually, we had a few political moments that were rather bizarre, as if President Trump's new IRS plan and the launch of DOGE weren't enough. California Governor Gavin Newsom just stepped in with a claim that has the internet in disbelief. So Governor Gavin Newsom held a press conference and straight up said, hey, look, Trump and Elon Musk stole the idea of DOGE from me. Yes, Governor Gavin Newsom of California, he's now claiming that California had its own version of DOGE way back in 2019 called the Office of Digital Innovation, and that his version of government efficiency is better. You can't even make this up. How the heck could Gavin Newsom's version of government efficiency or his Office of Digital Innovation be better than Trump's, when Gavin Newsom is billions of dollars in the hole in his own state? Comment down below if you think Gavin Newsom should step down, because a lot of people are just not on board with his policies. He said we've been DOGE, but better for 6 years. Anybody believe Gavin Newsom? Or is Gavin Newsom telling some stories here? Gavin Newsom even bragged that California's AI system is managing traffic, taxes, fire response way more efficiently than Elon Musk and President Trump ever could. Now, let's pause here for a second, guys. This is the same California with a $50 billion budget deficit. The highest income tax rate in America is in California. Skyrocketing homelessness, infrastructure failures, and chronic management all tied back to California. And Gavin Newsom's trying to dunk on Trump for cutting waste? Guys, the irony writes itself. But wait, it gets even better. This is just pure comedy for me at this point. So while praising President Trump's wildfire response, partnership. And yes, really, Gavin Newsom also filed his 16th lawsuit against Trump's administration, claiming that Elon Musk's DOGE operation is responsible for a proposed $400 million cut to Californians' AmeriCorps programs. So basically, in the same breath, he's thanking Trump and suing him at the same time. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about Gavin Newsom thanking Trump and suing him at the same time? Is that the definition of being two-faced? What is the astrological sign for the two-faced? Is it Cancer? Is it Scorpio? Is it Libra? Which one of those signs is the two-faced one? Anyway. And so if you're wondering how Elon Musk responded, well, he didn't. But you could almost hear the eye roll through the internet, right? But this political theater is a lot more than just drama behind Gavin Newsom's attack. It's a desperate attempt to defend the old guard of government bloat and bureaucracy. It's nothing more than that nonsense. And if DOGE succeeds nationally, well, you're going to have governors like Gavin Newsom. Governors like Gavin Newsom, they know their model of high tax, high waste government is probably going to be next on the chopping block. I mean, people are leaving California in droves. People are moving to states like Texas from California. People are leaving California, going to states like Florida. People are leaving states like California and they're going to states that are just simply run better with lower or no state income tax. Do you know? Comment down below if you know anyone who's moved from California or is planning to. Just drop a quick yes in the comment down below. And if you happen to know what state they moved from, if you happen to know what state they moved to from California, drop that state down below, because we're seeing some big trends. There's massive evacuations coming out of California because of how it's run. It's a beautiful state. You know, there's beautiful natural, the nature in California is just unbelievable. Certain parts, right? Yosemite Park and whatnot, the mountains, the coastline, gorgeous. But homeless problems and, budget deficits, it ruins the whole thing. So who do you have to thank? People like Karen Bass, mayor of Los Angeles, people like Governor Gavin Newsom. Who else can you thank? Hey, So, of course, we got to talk about what's the real impact of all of this on your wallet, right? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how prices are already falling and how the ERS is actually changing inflation dynamics, why President Trump says America is entering the greatest economic rebound in history, and why critics say his tariffs, they could blow it all up. So how is Trump paying for all these tax cuts without wrecking the economy, right? That's what everybody wants to know. It's a legitimate question. Well, that's the question critics keep asking. But according to the numbers that are coming out right now, the answer might actually shock you. President Trump claims his external revenue service model, fueled by tariffs and DOGE savings, is not only covering the cost, but is actually slashing inflation across the board. So let's take a look at what happened since he took office about 100 days ago, right? Well, gas prices are down over 25%. Egg prices cut by nearly 50%. And let me know how much egg prices are nearby you for, I don't know, maybe like a dozen eggs. Energy costs are falling rapidly. Groceries trending lower in almost every single state. And this isn't just some political spin. This is being reported by major financial outlets reacting to President Trump's 145% tariffs on Chinese imports, the massive drop in federal spending, and Saudi Arabia's oil price war, which is now forcing global prices down even further. So President Trump says this is the proof that his plan is working and that tariffs aren't raising prices like his critics claimed. But the media, they're not having it. In his pretty explosive sit down with ABC's Terry Moran, Trump got grilled about inflation, with Moran insisting that tariffs will inevitably drive prices up. Trump's response? We had tariffs before and 1% inflation. Perfect number. We're not going through hard times. We're entering great times. He doubled down, saying China and other nations had been ripping us off for years. and that if they wanted to do business with America now, they're going to have to eat the tariffs or go elsewhere. Whew, man, Trump's got some balls, doesn't he? I think we needed a president with some backbone. But here's the kicker. Trump's Treasury Secretary now says the 145% tariffs on China are basically an embargo. And that might actually be exactly what Trump wants. By reshaping global trade and forcing these companies to bring jobs and production back to America, Trump believes the long-term payoff will be lower costs, more jobs, and self-sufficient economy. But will it work? Well, of course, we got to dive into the legal and the ethical firestorm that's surrounding these reforms, including the DOJ fraud referrals that Trump says are already happening. And of course, the jaw-dropping mortgage fraud allegations against Letitia James. This is the same attorney general who spent years trying to destroy Trump. So let's talk about the irony that's almost so thick you can cut it with a knife, or you can cut it with a subpoena. While Trump is rolling out the aggressive government overhaul in modern history, his old enemies are now facing the very accusations that once were being hurled at him. So let's start with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, right? And Trump's explosive claim that DOJ referrals for fraud are already underway. During his ABC interview with Terry Moran, he pushed back, saying that there's no official confirmation of any referrals coming from DOGE investigations. Trump's response? He said, "How would you know that? You're not asking, you're making statements. Yes, there have been referrals." He even hinted that billions of taxpayer dollars were being fraudulently distributed and that DOJ is now quietly moving on several cases. But here's a twist. One of the biggest fraud allegations now targets none other than New York Attorney General Letitia James. This is the same lady who made it her personal mission to indict Trump for nearly a decade. Well, she's now under fire for allegedly committing mortgage fraud to secure a loan on a Virginia property while falsely claiming residency. That's right, guys. According to the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Letitia James falsified bank documents, misrepresented her state residency, and potentially committed federal mortgage fraud to get favorable terms. She's denied everything, of course, calling it a revenge tour led by Trump. But the allegations are now in the DOJ's hands. Pam Bondi and sources are saying that they're not being taken lightly. The irony here? Well, this is the same Letitia James who told voters that she would wake up every single day thinking about how to get Trump. Well, now she's the one that may be waking up to criminal charges herself. So this particular legal reversal is exactly why so many Americans are rallying behind Trump now more than ever. Because for years, they watched a two-tier justice system operate in plain sight. Now, with the IRS and DOGE and the DOJ fraud probes in motion, many believe it's finally getting reversed. But we're not done here, guys. Because while the legal battles are heating up, President Trump's movement is exploding in popularity. His supporters aren't just hopeful, they're actually celebrating. And in this next thing I want to talk to you guys about, Trump's actually turning this into a populist revolution where you might be the biggest winner. You watching this show right now. So basically, you can almost feel it in the comments, the rallies, the interviews, even in the polls. There's a new energy sweeping across the country, and it's not about party. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about the people. Trump's reforms, especially the ERS, the Social Security overhaul, and the DOGE savings plan, they struck a chord with working Americans like never before. And the response? It's unfiltered, unapologetic. It's electrifying. People are flooding the internet with drop a 47 if you support this. No tax on my labor. Finally, something for us, not for the elites, right? This isn't just fanfare. It's a populist uprising. And it's being powered by very simple, concrete promises. Keep what you earn. Pay nothing if you work hard and you make less than $200,000 a year. Access the benefits faster. Eliminate fraud and redirect savings back to the people. That's it. Trump's own words at the Michigan rally pretty much says it all. We're done being pushed and punished for working. We're done with career politicians taxing you and handing it overseas. And we're done pretending the waste and fraud are just part of the process. I'm done with all that. Are you? And this is exactly why this plan feels different. It's not about class warfare. It's about restoring fairness. For decades, Americans have felt like they were playing by the rules only to fall behind. And so now, for the first time in like ever, they're seeing policy that reflects their values, their struggles, and their sacrifices. And Trump, he's leaning in all the way, telling his base, this is your country again, not theirs. And we're just getting started. But here's the thing, even with all the momentum, there is still a massive ticking clock in the background. Because no matter how efficient the ERS becomes or how many billions DOGE saves, the Social Security Trust Fund is still on track to run dry by 2034. And the next section, I'm going to show you exactly what's at stake if Congress doesn't act now and how Trump's plan could be the only thing standing between your future and a 23% cut to your benefits. Now, here's a part nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to know about it. Despite the momentum, despite the External Revenue Service, despite DOGE's billions in savings, the Social Security Trust Fund is still on life support. And according to the latest projections, the fund is expected to run out of money by the year 2034. And if nothing gets done, every Social Security beneficiary in America is going to face across the board cuts of 23% starting in 2035. So let that sink in, guys. If you receive $1,000 a month now, you could be seeing that check slashed down to $770. Not because you did something wrong, but because Congress failed to act. Trump knows this, and that's why he's moving quickly. His new IRS alternative, the ERS, isn't just about tax cuts. It's about creating a sustainable revenue model that can fund Social Security without bleeding the middle class dry. He's betting big on tariff income, fraud recovery, government efficiency, and long-term economic growth. But here's the catch. Critics, including the Congressional Budget Office, they're warning that eliminating income taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security could actually accelerate the fund's depletion by as much as 3 years if the savings and revenue don't fully make up for the lost tax income. The CBO says Trump's plan could reduce Social Security revenue by $1.9 trillion over the next decade unless it's offset by massive growth. So the question is no longer if change is coming, it's what kind of change is coming. Do we keep taxing working class people into the ground to patch a sinking system, or do we rebuild it from the ground up with innovation, alternative funding, and real accountability? Well, I think it's pretty clear Trump's chosen his path. For millions of Americans, it feels like for the first time, somebody in power actually put them first. So now it's your move. Are you guys in favor of a tax-free future for working class Americans? You can just drop me a yes or no on that one. Do you believe the government should be run efficiently like a business, not a bloated bureaucracy? Do you support protecting Social Security without draining your paycheck? And I want you to let your voice be heard, guys. Drop a 47 in the comments down below. Share this video. Hit the like button. And also, don't forget to give our friends over at Chapter a call. Tell them Ron sent you and ask them, hey, I'm over 65. Ron says that there's a good chance you could save me some money on Medicare. Can you help me out? I'll leave a link for Chapter in the description down below, as well as their phone number if you choose to call them. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Be safe and take care.